What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I did a video about this whole Raji Sharif Black, and we're not going to play the video of what he confessed, but I made a video and I took it down a few days ago. And I want to talk about the blame that Kevin Samuels has received. Not just him, the Black Manosphere community at large. You know, we've been just getting a lot of blame for, what happened. And I want to say that my heart goes out to the family. I publicly condemned that act. And I do believe that it should have been condemned. And, I understand this is a tragedy, so I definitely understand that. But the brother was listening to Kevin Samuels and apparently had shared some of his videos on Facebook. I don't know if he's listening to me on the main channel, but I want to talk to people about, content creation and having influence on people's lives, whether it's for the positive or the negative. Now, I want to say when I've come to YouTube, or when I came to YouTube, and I wanted to work with African American men. The reason why I wanted to work with African American men because I felt that our men needed help, right? And our men needed more networks and more positive solutions, more things that they can do, more content catered to them and to their struggle in everyday life. And that's how Kevin Samuels joined up with us. It's how the lead attorney joined up with us. It's how everybody has joined up with us. Ron Wills, right? Guys like that. And what happens is that a lot of times when you go through things, especially when you're dealing with women, or going through a divorce, or you're going through a tough time, and when you see that, you have a content creator, it's like Kevin Samuels, who's been married twice, or somebody like myself who came up in with a crack addicted father. When you hear content like that, it resonates with you, and it may empower you to be emotionally attached to the content. You may even share it. You may even really feel like you know the creator of the content because it represents you. That's why many of you guys watch me. You watch me because it makes sense about what I'm talking about because you can relate to it. There's a certain level of relatability. However, there are some things that tick people off in different ways. Most people that live in America understand the laws and they value their life, and they don't want to go to jail. They would rather live for another day, no matter how upset they are. But you have some people who their mental health is so messed up that they don't see any other way out but to do something really stupid. Okay? And then if that should happen, and if you don't like this content creator, then it's so easy to say, well, you know what? That content creator influenced this particular action, right? You can hear it all over, and it's another way to try to make, the manosphere or the Black manosphere or the greater manosphere at large, be liable for what's happening with men in bad situations. But if you really look at it and really listen to what these guys are saying, these guys have most likely come to the manosphere after reaching a breaking point, after getting ready to go off the ledge. And when some of these guys interact with Manosphere content, and especially with content creators like me who are trying to tell Black men to work with one another, what you will find is that sometimes Black men will say, I got emails, hey man, I was on the brink of this, I was on the brink of ending it all, but because I've listened to what you have to say, I'm still living and I'm doing better. And so what happens is that sometimes guys are already at the ledger or at the edge, getting ready to jump off the cliff, and then you have the Black Manosphere content that's coming out and saying, "Hey man, you made a mistake in life. You chose the wrong woman, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. And if that person happens to jump off that bridge, if that person happens to push somebody else off that bridge with them, then you get blamed." And I just want to say this, that the Black Manosphere community since I've been living in Poland. I've been depressed because of the weather that it's happened here. You know, as you get older, you don't have as many friends. And you guys that are over 40 understand this. When you get 30, 35, 40, the phone doesn't ring as much. And when you have friends and people that you can reach out to, and the internet has allowed us to do that, it's a breath of fresh air, you know? And certain guys don't get to understand it until it's too late. But you know, to be able to understand that these black men are going through the same things that you're going through, you can relate. Okay, like, you know, I had problems with my mom coming up. Not to say that I did, but you know, that's a big topic here. It's a really great thing to be able to fit into that community. But a lot of times, some guys are just too far gone. And this is what I want to tell people instead of looking at, you know, blaming Kevin or blaming the Manosphere. And it's easy to do that because that guy's popular and you don't like him. But there's never been any content that Kevin Samuels has made that would make a man do something so foolish. If anything, Kevin Samuels has always told black men, if you're having a problem in your life, you let that problem get to that point. You have to own it. You have to do something about it. Not to go out there and do something stupid, but you have to make that change. Understand that you're not the only person going through those issues, and make it better. I had idiots on my last video that was agreeing with the guy that did what he did in Baltimore, and you know, certain guys are saying like, well, you know, I can understand how he did. I just don't understand that. I don't. You know, a lot of you guys want to hold women accountable for what they do, and then if a man gets himself in a situation where he has, you know, a ex-wife, and then he goes out and get another girl pregnant and go through the same thing, then it's okay for him. Listen, men have to make the right decisions in life. That's what I've been saying. It's what Kevin mentioned. It's what everybody's been saying. A lot of you guys that are upset about that don't want to step into the plate. Let me tell you this. As a man, you can never hold women accountable when you don't want to hold yourself accountable for what's going on. It's weak. I don't think there's any manliness in that. There's no masculinity in that. It's nothing but a bunch of unaccountability in that. And you're never going to develop as a man. And that's the thing. And so when things like this happen with some of you trolls out there, then you know Kevin's gonna get blamed. When Kevin don't push that, I don't push that message. You know? Our guys have to understand that, you know what, as a black man going through something, it's our responsibility to create the resources for black men that are in trouble. It's our job as black men to create the resources for black men who need somebody to talk to. You know, we got money. Why we don't create those things? So when black men go out there and do stuff and we don't have the resources to help those brothers, then it's our fault also. Because what are we doing to make it better for black men? It's exactly the truth. Nobody wants to talk about that. But it's so easy to blame Kevin, blame me, blame everybody. No. You gotta blame the person. You gotta blame parts of the black male community that we don't offer these resources out there for these brothers. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top, and as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.